So King Richard Williams, the daughter of Venus and Serena, one of his daughters, because he had children from a previous marriage, slammed him and said that he wasn't the king that the world says he is. Now, it says here in the U.S. Sun that Serena Williams slammed her estranged father, Richard Williams, who was the subject of the Hollywood movie King Richard. She said that Richard had married Serena's mother in Los Angeles in the 1960s. They had 4 children, Richard III, Ronner, Reluse, and Renika. But when Serena was just 8 years old, Richard dumped his wife and 5 kids, allegedly walking out to buy her a bike, but never returned. Richard married Serena and Venus' mom, Oracine, before they divorced in 2002. So Richard's daughter told if my mom still laughed, she'd laugh. That rat B, she had a great sense of humor. She stopped giving a damn about my dad a long time ago before she died. And she says her sister Renika was a baby, 8 weeks old when her dad left. And how do you leave a baby? She said, I was 8 years old and he left under the pretense, I'm going to get you a bike. So Richard Williams left. The last time he saw his other family, he walked out by telling his daughter at that time he was going to get her a bike. Now, this is before cell phones and the internet and everything that we have going on. And this is typically how men could just, that was a freer time. And that shows that typically men could just leave their families by saying, I'm going to the store. A lot of men left their families. That was the last thing they heard their father say. They was either, I'm going to the store, I'm going to get cigarettes. Do y'all want something to eat? I'll go get you something. And they just left. There was no way to contact anybody in these days before cell phones or anything. There were only 3 television stations. So man could just walk off and go across town and start a whole new family. Now, I'm not a proponent of any man leaving his wife and children. I'm not saying what Richard did was right. But I will say if Richard didn't do this, there's a strong possibility there would be no Venus and Serena. And what would the world look like without Venus and Serena? So I'm going to say to Richard's ex-wife, you had to walk so they could fly. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. The man was called to do what he had to do because he had something in him that he had to give back to the world, meaning he becoming a tennis coach and training his daughters to be the greatest tennis players the world has ever seen. And I want to say if it wasn't for the first wife and his daughter and those children, Serena and Venus would not be here. Nike would not be able to bring in as much money as it does if it wasn't for you guys. Like everything had to be aligned, okay? So I just have to thank y'all for letting him walk out. As bad as that sounds, but something had to be done. And the man had to listen. He probably didn't want to leave, but he had to listen. And then, too, there's also 2 sides to every story. Who knows? Who knows what would Richard have to say about this when he left? He might have been pushed out, couldn't take it no more. Didn't really know any other way to look his daughter in the eye and say, hey, I'm going to get you a bite. I'll be right back. And they didn't see him for 30 years. So they might have saw him on the news when Serena and Venus. Who knows? But I need y'all to call me and we can go over this and have a family meeting or something.